Are you an established small business owner or aspiring entrepreneur? Would you like professional advice to help your business grow and succeed? Well, look no further. The Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center is the territory's #1 resource to move your business forward. Enjoy no-cost advising, low-cost training, and technical assistance from experts in both the public and private sectors. The VI-SBDC is nationally accredited and sustained by the University of the Virgin Islands and the U.S. Small Business Administration. Visit us at our locations on St. Thomas, St. John, or St. Croix, and follow us on social media at VI-SBDC. For easy access to all our training and networking events, be sure to join our newsletter and download the VI-SBDC app. The Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center, here to help your business start, grow, and succeed.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the VI-SBDC's hosting of the Business Approach to When a Disaster Strikes in the USVI. This session focuses on what companies need to know in order to be prepared for any kind of disaster, natural or man-made. Today, you're going to hear from the American Red Cross on why community engagement is necessary, why infrastructure and facility maintenance are key, why employee preparedness should be exercised regularly, and how a post-disaster recovery plan will help your business. Today's presenter's name is Ms. Patricia Swan, and she will have the opportunity to introduce herself formally to you. But here's a few housekeeping rules. Here's a friendly reminder to put your questions in the chat, and they will be addressed by the presenting team either directly in the chat or later during the question and answer segment. A copy of this presentation will be available in our post-survey event email, and we encourage you to take a few minutes after the training to fill out that survey that lets us know how we're doing. So without further ado, Ms. Swan, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. It is such a pleasure for me to be here on behalf of the American Red Cross to share with you tips and ways that you can make sure that your business and your home, your investments are safe and secure during any disaster. We live here on an island where we are surrounded by water and we're prone to quite a few disasters. As you see on the screen, there's a visual of some of the really high impact and frequent disasters. We have home fires on the left. We have earthquakes. Some we feel, some we don't. Hurricanes, everyone knows all about the hurricanes. And then also flooding, so we can get mudslides, especially on St. Thomas. So we want to talk about ways and a program where you can, for free, that you can make sure that you're prepared. I'm going to come off camera just so you can see me visually for a few minutes. I am Patricia Swan. I am a Community Disaster Program Manager for the Red Cross office here on St. Thomas. It's for the St. John, St. Thomas, and Water Island chapter. I also serve as our preparedness coordinator for all of the VI, as well as our casework, what we call recovery lead for the Virgin Islands, and I do community partnerships. So I am so glad to be here to share this information. As I said, I'm going to turn off the camera for now and head on over to let you know what we're going to talk about. So we have a program called the Ready Rating Program. So I'm going to talk about that, and you can ask any questions as the moderator indicated, put it in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. So I'm also going to cover some of our Be Red Cross Ready preparedness essentials. So we're going to talk about your business and also some reminders for you at home. And there'll be an opportunity for you throughout the presentation to ask questions. So here again is the Ready Rating Program. The truth is that I would like to know, do you feel that your organization is prepared? Prepared during a disaster? Are you confident that you can protect the lives of, let's say, your employees? Are your clients that are there in your facility? If we had a tsunami warning that was issued, are your employees or your clients, do they know where to go to shelter in less than 14 minutes? Is your organization really prepared to handle a prolonged power outage? If you answered no to any of these questions, do not fear. There is still time and an opportunity for you to get organized, and your organization can take the steps to make sure that you are securing your investment. The truth is that we need to prepare more than ever. Climate change is leading us to more frequent and boy, intense weather events. And we've seen that, right? Each decade, an increasing number of people are impacted by disasters. So let me give for those of you who need the data, between 2011 and 2020, more than 88 million Americans, so on the continental US and its territories, were affected by disasters. That was, and that is, a 327% increase from 2001 to 2010. 327% increase. That's just, it seems unimaginable. So in 2021 alone, there were more than 40% of Americans that were living in an area that was affected by a climate-related disaster. We're talking flooding, we're talking storm surge, hurricanes, tornadoes, wildfires. You guys have seen those in the news, and it can be a bit stressing. There's always a disaster in the news. So I said Red Cross, we're very busy. The really unfortunate truth is that the majority of organizations are not prepared. As you see there, 68% of small businesses lack a disaster recovery plan. So that means I really can't open up afterwards, right? 49% of small businesses would take 3+ months to recover. And about 25% of small businesses never open after a disaster. And we saw that. We saw that here locally. So although disaster risks are increasing, a lot of organizations have yet to take the steps to prepare. And emergency preparedness planning is critical to minimize disasters on people, on your operation, property, and your investment. According to the US Small Business Administration, small businesses represent 99% of all our employees in the US. So we really need to make sure that you have the tools to be prepared, that it doesn't impact you. And if you're a nonprofit organization, nonprofits represent 10% of the American workforce, or 12.5 million jobs. Nonprofits, like other businesses, are also vulnerable to disasters, and they can face a unique challenge because most of how they operate is based on funds, grants, and the likes. Schools, churches are all impacted the same. So we want to take a couple of steps here. So why should you prepare? Your organization, your business, I'm sure is your heart. You have put your sweat, your blood, your time, you have invested so much into it. And so we want to know, are you prepared? If you're not, here's what you can do. And this is why it's important for you to be prepared. And you see there on the screen, organization with preparedness plan, commitment to safety, you enhance productivity, and the last one, minimize losses of income, investment. And think of like your inventory. So organizations that are prepared to respond to disasters and other emergencies are critical to helping us in our community, right? That helps to build and sustain our resilient communities. So you want to demonstrate this commitment of safety for your employees, your workers. If you have students, if you have a different business, thereby you're really reinforcing that you are for the community, that you support the community by doing your part. It also enables organizations to be more resilient, to withstand the disasters, to increase your ability to contain the costly situations during an emergency, and they can be quite a few of them. Our solution, we feel, is the Red Cross Ready Rating Program. It is free. Everything that the Red Cross provides to our clients, to the community, is free. This is a free membership. It's easy to navigate. We started this in 2008 to help organizations prepare for, respond to, and then recover as well from disasters and emergency. As I mentioned, it's free. It's a self-guided program, and it has a lot of customization opportunities, and it's really the tools and everything that you need meet the standards of OSHA. That's the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. So you get a complete online program that will help you to improve your preparedness regardless of what size your business is. So you can be a small entrepreneur having a startup business, to a agency or organization that has over 100 employees. It can be customized to fit you and at your pace. All it takes is for you to invest the time, set up an account, and go through the process. So let me tell you a little bit more about our Ready Rating program. As I mentioned, it was launched in 2008. It measures, you put in information, answer question, and measures where you are, and then gives you a report of where you are in comparison to other like organizations, and where your areas of weakness or stretches, things that you need to work on, and then tracks your progress as you make those improvements and you enter the information into your account, into your profile. Then it brings up additional things for you to then focus. You can decide for the year what you want to focus on. And if you want to set up a committee to deal with preparedness and prevention, it also gives you a floor plan to how to do that. Like I said, it's free. It is a wealth of information. It just takes for you to take the time to go over it and measure. So why is it a good program? Because it's grounded in research. Red Cross is all about preparedness, prevention, and recovery. Most people know us for sheltering. Yes, we are pretty good at the sheltering. That's one of our key factors and where we really set the standard. But we also are into preparedness and prevention and recovery. So all that we do has been researched and improved year to year. It makes for you, as I said, regardless if you're a small business or a large corporation, it makes it measurable for your business, for your organization, and have lots of tools that you can customize for yourself, that you can actually put into a presentation and share with others. We make it so easy for you. So members who are engaged in our program, 75% have updated their plans, 70 have educated their employees on preparedness, and really overall preparedness has increased. So it is working. We are so proud to see that businesses, small churches, even small shops, coffee shops, that these businesses are using this program and feel like they're better prepared. And when they share the information with their investors, they look and are taken seriously for the commitment that they have. So here are some of our members. Like you've heard me mention the school, commercial businesses, nonprofits, house of worships, healthcare organizations, again, from small to large, even real estate agencies and manufacturers. So this can be fit for you as well. The benefits, it's easy, it's simple. It just takes you taking the time to put in the information and then following through on the goals that are there. And so you have access to our resource center, which is amazing. I think because anything that you can think of, there's either a video or a template that you can look at and customize, or a presentation that you can customize for yourself. There's also a quarterly newsletter that goes out that you get, and you also get a seal that you can put on your business showing that you are committed to the prevention and protection of your organization. And you see here's a copy I put on here of what the what the Ready rating stamp looks like. But here are some other benefits as well. So you get a 10% discount from the Red Cross store. So if you were interested in getting some first aid kits for large to small organizations, that you can use that on the store and get that. I mentioned the quarterly newsletter, the resource center, and here's the membership seal. And there is a website that if anyone wants to look and see, they can see your name posted on the website. So any questions as far as there are any questions in the chat? Any comments in the chat before we move forward to the other sections?
Not at this time.
All right, then I will move on ahead. So how does the Ready rating work? So there's a 5-step process you see there. So you do enter the information, sign up for your own account, and you probably like to share that with a secondary person if you have someone already identified as helping you with these steps. So that not only one person, and you know where the password and all of that is. Then you get the emergency plan. It's coming up with a full comprehensive plan for you in the facility. And then there's, like I said, presentation decks, videos that you can use in a meeting or a drill or an exercise for your business. And then, of course, by doing so, by ensuring that you're ready in case of any of the disasters that we're impacted by being ready, you're then extended that to the community, because if folks come into your business, if you have employees, they're then also protected. So here are the 2 assessments that come with the Ready rating, and you can choose one or the other, but I always say go with the first one, Ready, Go. That's like a starting up. Even if you have done a, you have, let's say, an emergency plan for your organization or business. I said, you know what, go and see if you're on track. Do the Ready, Go. There's 25 questions. It really is on the basics, and it takes about 15 to 30 minutes, depending. For me, it took more like 30. For some, it may not. As you go through, if you feel like you really have a strong holding and you want to take the chance in doing the Ready Advance, then go right ahead. You get 60 questions. As it says there, a comprehensive approach is from beginning to end, less than an hour. But you can start off with a Ready, Go and then advance to the Ready Advance. So you don't have to feel pressure by going to the Ready Advance right away. What does that mean? Here is a look at the site. So this is an example of someone who has done the assessment. They did the Ready, Go. As you see there on the top screen, it's 100% completed. And it has there the participation, emergency planning, facility and equipment, training and exercise, extended community, right? So they got an 81%, 84 out of 105 possible points. And then you see there's a next step report saying, okay, this is what you need to do. You can save it, you can update it, you can modify it. And you see there some of the participation questions with the little camera so they can do the video. And then questions about emergency planning. So do you have an emergency response planning committee, yes or no? And that helps to really build on your goals for that year and your goals for the next 5 years. So the next step report that you saw there on the screen, after 81% that they got, right? So they completed that assessment, and it tells you, based on the questions, based on the responses that you put in the questions for your business, this is what we think you need to focus on. Here are some actions that you can take, and here are some tools in the resource center that would help you towards that goal. This is the dashboard. It has a dashboard for you, for your business. In it, you see here, it gives you the summary dashboard, and it gives you your Ready rating. So this person has a 3-star. And they did the Ready, Go score, and they got a 78 out of 105 possible. And they're on the section 2, which is the emergency planning. And you can see at the bottom, so it tells them what the action steps is and how they responded to this question. And this is one of the areas that the system feels that they need to really shore up on. So it gives them the action steps. Here are the resources. So those are files, how to get an emergency response planning committee together, what the steps to do that, and maybe emergency response team job description. And this can work even for a church, to a school, to a small business. So you design it with the template that they give you and customize it for you. But the key parts of each of these are in there so that you can use them. Again, making it very easy and manageable for you to ensure that you do have an emergency plan. So the emergency action plan templates, this is big, right? So that's the whole point of you being here, is how to come up with a plan to make sure that you are shoring up your investments. So we have here the emergency action plan template. There's two. So there's the go for the first questions, the 25 questions. So it has standard topics, of course, meets OSHA standards. And then the advance, as you move up, the advanced templates have a little bit more. So you start off with the go and go up to the advanced. And as you see there in the bottom, again, you can export these and make them into your own and save them for your organization. And here is the advanced template generator. So this is the one with the 60 questions. The path with the 60 questions. And this is how it's laid out. It may look now like really condensed, but this is what the person would see on the screen. So this is a screenshot of that. And you see on the right-hand side when it says template background, why these things have been added. So OSHA requires that all organizations with staff of 10 or more have an emergency action plan. And so at a minimum, these are the steps. And then it goes into why, and then you can add and take away as needed. But it has a number of templates for you to take on. So the dashboard gives you a ranking. It gives you a quick snapshot of where you are, what you've done. So you can, when you go back into the system, you go like, all right, I haven't looked at this in a month or two, or this is a new quarter. Let me look and see where we are. We've got a new committee now. We've got new people on board. And even if you're an entrepreneur, you can still have a committee. You can get a number of individuals who are interested in being a part of your success and success in the community, who are going to be a part of that, who may have specialized experiences in other areas that can really help you. So don't think that because you may be a business of one, that this does not pertain to you. It does. So you get yourself a network of individuals that can really help you. And so when you get the 4-star and you get the star ranking, and that I have to say, it looks pretty good when you go to insurance companies or banks if you want to invest a little bit further in your business. So here I wanted to show you what that looks like, that final kind of dashboard that you see. So it tells you what your ranking is, your assessment score, the one that you did. So this person did ready, go. And so see at the bottom, it says upgrade to ready, advanced. So you can start off with go, like I said, and go to advanced. You don't have to feel pressured to go directly to advanced. And if you don't feel confident about an emergency process planning, go and do the ready, go, and advance as you meet some of your goals. And then comparison to businesses where you are. And so this individual is 79, top 79% of other businesses. At the bottom, it tells you we have an emergency response planning committee. The response was, and then you get the full report. You can click on that and then get the template for your emergency action plan, and then some other resources that they feel you may need, that you may be interested in for your business. So the resource center, wow, let me tell you, you can get lost in the resource center. There's so much. There's videos, like I mentioned, there is checklists for everything, and the presentation deck. So you can use this, like I said, the thing that I love about this program is the customization. So everything is laid out there for you. It's like you can go shopping and pick what you need and put it together. Hope no one's offended by that reference, and make sure that you have everything that you need. So more than 25 videos, sample forms, white papers that give that data and support the research. If you want to convince a committee of one action or the other, you have support and documentation to do so. So not just on your word, right? But if you really have a team that wants to have all of the information, then this resource center really helps you to make that possible. I want to show you a snap of the resource center. This I took when for COVID was big. I probably should have taken a newer one, but you'll see here the resource topics, participation, the emergency planning, and so you can go step to step individually, looking at the documents of the video, or you can say, you know what, I want to look at all of this now at this time, and do my research. And then here is the newsletter archive. So as the newsletters come out, you have access to past newsletters just to really inform yourself, but maybe there's a topic that you really feel strongly about. Maybe the value of preparedness planning or crisis communication, like when we couldn't communicate with each other either because the towers were down, or folks weren't able to charge their devices. Whatever the situation, there's resources here for you. I just wanted to show this to you. Are there any questions in the chat about this? Any comments before I move on? All right, so I'm going to head on over to our Ready Rating Resource Center. As you see here, they look very serious, don't they? But especially Dr. Kirsch. But there, as I mentioned, the videos for any topic. Here is an evacuation assembly area where to meet, how to have routes and maps that show how you decide where to go, how to, where is the best place to put direction. And then the other video that they're showing here is the test and warning systems. If you have one in the building, if you're a larger organization, it's just a matter of providing information for individuals. And members have access to more than these 25 videos on a range of topic, and they're all given by experts in their field, as you see here. Director of National Center for Disease Medicine and Public Health. These are individuals who are experts, like I said, in their field. The videos are short, they're easy to understand, and would really help you get a better idea, concept, and coming up with your goals. So the next steps after creating your account on readyrating.org to become a member. Like I said, you do the assessment, either the 25 or the 60 to go or the advanced, and then you're given a next step report, and you can decide to take one or two of those for this year to work on, or maybe they're small enough that you can work on all of them. But it's good to have a plan, so it helps you to really come up with your goals based on the areas that you need to shore up. And in the end, it's really about protecting your organization, your staff, and your clients, right? So I'm going to switch over here to some questions before we go into the preparedness part of the presentation. Are there any questions? I can't see the chat from my screen here.
No questions at this time.
All right. So Ready Rating, I hope that this information has been useful for you, that you feel that this is something that you would like to do for your business. Again, it doesn't matter what size your organization is. If you're a church, a commercial business, a nonprofit, readyrating.org, it's free and can really help you to begin your emergency preparedness planning journey. So we hope that you sign up today to be a part of that. I'm going to switch over past these slides to go to our Bay Red Cross Ready Preparedness Essentials. So this is another one of our free programs that Red Cross offers to the community. We do them at churches. We do them for fraternities, sororities, groups that just based on a number of modules that you may want. Maybe you want to do the one that's been really popular is home fires, extreme heat, earthquakes and tsunamis. And so understanding what that is, how to be prepared for that at home and in the community. What I'm going to talk about here moving forward is what we call our preparedness essentials. So really dealing with any of the disasters, not just the one most popular that everyone thinks of, hurricanes, because home fires are much more frequent in the Virgin Islands than hurricanes. So here we're going to start off. As the Red Cross, we feel that the way for you to protect your family, your home, business, community is with these 3 steps. So you're going to get a kit, make a plan for all the hazards, and then be informed. So let's talk about get a kit. That's step 1. At home, you want to have a household kit, of course. It's got essentials for at least 2 weeks at a minimum. We know how difficult it is to get supplies restocked after a major hazard. So you want to make sure that you are prepared for that. Not just food items, but items to help you clean up, protective gear to clean up, cleaning supplies, tools, all of that. And then the one that folks forget to think about is a go bag. So if you got the call and it said, listen, we're evacuating this whole area right now, you're not going to have time to stop, put things together, figure out what's important and what's not. With adrenaline pumping, you might get really just overstimulated and forget something very important. So it's really key to start and have a go bag before any hazard. So, right, be proactive. So you want at least 3 days supplies is everyone has their own. So if you have kids or you're taking care of someone or you have pets, everyone has their own go bag with the things that they need that are essential for them. And so that includes identification, clothing, snacks, something of comfort. And you want to customize it for you. So my go bag may not have all the things that you have in your go bag. When I talk about customization, think of like if you have medication, wear glasses. If you have a service animal, your identification. So you want to put those original documents, right? You don't want to put those in the bag, and especially for the kids. But you want to have some identifier that says who you are, that something happens to your phone, that you have a old school paper copy as well, that you have all of your important documents loaded up to the cloud, but in your bag, there's something that says, this is who I am, this is my name, this is my emergency contact by phone, by email, so that if someone comes up on you and you're not able to communicate, your phone is not working, they can't pull up your emergency contacts on the phone, that they can look and see who you are in another way. And you can laminate those and put those in your wallet, important places, but you want to have that as part of your kit. And finally, because disasters can be very stressful, we can't overlook having something that brings you comfort. And for some people, it's a Bible, it's a picture of their family. Maybe it's a small token that you got from someone that really brings a happy memory, but something that will help you relax as well. So that may be cards, maybe it's coloring books. I have no judgment on adult coloring books because I got quite a few of them, and it brings me comfort and helps me to really relax. So whatever it is for you, that you add that to your go kit as well, your go bag. And then think of having one at the office, at work, at your business, place of employment, in the vehicle, that in case there's a tsunami, that you have comfortable walking shoes that you can switch in, or flooding, that you have boots that you can just get to higher ground. Make sure that your car is always, as much as possible, because it's so expensive sometimes to get cars repaired, that you're ready, so that if you have to evacuate quickly, that from let's say you're at a business and there is an earthquake and it's a pretty severe earthquake, do you have all you need? Do you have a mask, a whistle, in your go bag? So I don't want to sound morbid, but the more prepared we are, the better we are when it comes to recovery and being more resilient, because you know what to expect. You've practiced it, and the way you practice it is the way you're going to do it. If you practice, so you want to practice it well when there's an emergency. And then step two. So step one was get that kit, right? So the kit for home, a kit in the car, make sure you've got a first aid in the car, all of those things, and then one at work in case something happens. So you also want to, and the reason for the one in the car, let's say, for example, if you're out going to the bank or going to church, or going to the barber shop, and something happens, that you have a way to really go quickly if something happens. So step two, make a plan. You want to have an emergency plan for all of the hazards. So yes, home fires, mudslides that we get, especially on St. Thomas, earthquakes. You know, we haven't had a tsunami in more than 175 years, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen in our lifetime. So you want to think of all of the hazards, hurricane, anything that can happen here locally. And think of, if you have a family member that's usually the person who is really proactive about things like that, what happens if they're away and they had to travel for business or to attend a conference, or they're in the military and they had to go on deployment? Is there someone else? Does everyone know who is responsible for what task if something happens? And then if you have an elderly parent or someone who has a functional need or an access need that you have already discussed, who would be responsible for that person? And if the authorities, if ITEMA came on and said you need to evacuate from this area, you want to grab that go bag that you have already reviewed, you've already selected what goes in it, and you are confident and you can go, get up and go and be safe, because you were ready, because you had that plan. And you want to also include the right information, right? You see here is a copy of the emergency contact form. I have young folks who laugh every time we do teen presentations. They're like, Miss Swan, this is so old school, it's paper, I have my phone. The truth is that your phone could be destroyed. Maybe doesn't have a charge on it. So you want to have both, right? The benefit of having a paper and you can laminate it and tuck it in your wallet, and also to have the access of our smartphones. But making sure that you have every way for information to be shared, especially with emergency personnel, that you've taught of how to evacuate. If there's a fire in our community in Anna's Retreat and it's the neighbor's house, where do you go? What if it's all of the houses on that street? Where would you go to be safe? Where will you stay if your home becomes unlivable? Let's say it's not really safe in a hurricane. Where do you shelter in place? Do you have someone else that you can stay with, that you've had those discussions and have made a plan? Where are your important records? Where are the documents? And make sure that you have a up-to-date photo of your family, of yourself, of your valuables, your inventory, your business, so that you have those in like a photo journal, that you can go back to for insurance or any type of claim, a FEMA, or just if you needed to post a picture because you're looking for someone, a family member that's been lost, that you have an up-to-date photo. I can't tell you the number of times that we've gone somewhere and asked, okay, so because there's a home fire and the Red Cross works with the fire department to provide some assistance, and they have no up-to-date photo of a family member. So make sure that you have that for yourself and your family. And lastly, that you're practicing the plan, that you practice it often, every 6 months. Do not just look at hurricane season, or just September in hurricane season, that you're really doing your due diligence by practicing the plan, that everyone who's a part of your life know what the plan is, right? That you've communicated the plan. And that you've also talked about where we would go if something happens. What if you have a family member who will need special transportation? That you really start to think about all those steps, what that look like, what that feels like, what would that sound like, and then share your evacuation plan with your family, or if you have your circle of friends and family, that you've created a circle. And I recommend you make a network for yourself, with a mixture of individuals, including those that are not here locally, who are going to be impacted by whatever the hazard is, right? So you think about it beforehand, plan for it, talk about it, so everyone is on track. Everyone, as they say, is on the same page. And then think of being prepared financially. I know you're going to do that for yourself with your business, but what about family? What about you? What are the documents that you need to secure? When you have a family member that passes away and no one knows how to get access into the safety security box or know what their account numbers, it is quite a task. So having a document with all that information is really key. And if you'd like to get reference or a suggestion for one of those, I am glad to share that with you. That helps you put all of the accounts, all the customer service number. If you're really savvy with Excel, you can do it for yourself, or Microsoft Word, and put all that information down and put it in a secure place. Share it with your contact, your emergency contact, so that if something happens to you, that they can help you. And if you have an insurance company that's off island, that they may be able to represent and help get some answers, or ask questions that can help you in that process. So we're thinking of everything, right? So financial, all of it, your evacuation plan, where are those items going to be? And if you put it in the safe deposit box, make sure that you are including ways that a family member or your emergency contact can get into the box if something happens to you. And your insurance. Flood insurance covers tsunamis, so consider it if you don't. Earthquake insurance as well. And I know that renter's insurance here is really expensive, but it may be, if you can manage it, it may be an investment, a worthy investment for you. Not maybe, it will be a worthy investment. And then homeowners, a lot of folks that we respond to with home fires, we have found that once they have paid off the mortgage with the bank, they no longer continue with the insurance. And then when they have a home fire that destroys their home, it is starting over. And it is a very difficult place to be. Just as if you had a fire in your establishment, in your store, and you didn't have insurance for that, that would be a huge impact. So I suggest to look it over, make sure that you're considering with the insurance, is it the right type for you? It's the right policy for you. What does it cover? Does it cover the structure, the content? Are you going to have to come up with a huge deductible to be able to meet that deductible, right? And you have to come up with a lot of funds to do so. Does it make sense then to have extra savings to put that amount to the side? A lot of folks do that. And I can understand why, because sometimes you want to make that decision that's a balance between getting the right insurance, but also looking at how much the deductible is. So if you need to have a savings, lots of folks do that. And again, have a visual inventory of your home, of your business, of what you have. So you have evidence, you have a record of what you had. And this is a sample of our family disaster communication plan. A lot of organizations, emergency management organizations, have similar plans. So you have options that you can use, but I would suggest, even if you are single or small entrepreneur starting up, that it's important to have one. And this lists all of the individuals in the home. It can list all of your contacts who are part of your network, what you would do in each of these emergencies. If you have children, what does the school's plan look like? And if something happens, who are you to contact? And so you update this every 6 months or whenever there's a change. Folks change their telephone numbers sometimes, or have to change their numbers if they switch from one to another, or maybe you've added another person to your network. So this is something that you would change again every 6 months or as needed. But I would recommend doing a communication plan for your family. And if you join the Ready Rating, they will show you one for your business as well. And then the last step, step 3. So step 1 was get a kit. Step 2 was what? And I'm not sure if everyone remembers step 2. Make a plan. And step 3, to be informed. So you want to get that really good information that can help you to make those decisions. So I've often heard from community members, they said, Miss Swan, I got it on WhatsApp. And I'm not cutting on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is very valuable, especially during a disaster and our connectivity. But if you are getting that information from a third or fourth person, then you can't really be certain that it is good information. So making sure that you sign up for all of the alerts, including FEMA and Red Cross, and I'm sure all of you already have the Alert VI, and understand what it means, the difference between a warning and an advisory, so that you can do the actions to make sure that you are safe. And if you're going to travel to another region, let's say you're going up for a conference in your field to get that, to get that experience and networking, and you've never been to an area where it is prone to tornadoes, then you want to make sure that you understand what that means. And if you're staying at a hotel, do they have a shelter that you can go into to make sure that you're safe? So not only think about here in the Virgin Islands, but if you travel, how you can better protect yourself. A lot of folks don't feel comfortable driving in the snow. So you may want to do some research on how you can stay safe. And we offer that as a training as well. So just let us know. And then here's one of the resources I share with everyone. So the National Hurricane Center, which is part of NOAA, NOAA is the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, said they are the ones sea, wind, air, and track the hurricanes, and so give you sort of a forecasted projection of the storms, or tropical storms, or hurricane at different levels, or if it's a depression, or so here on the screen is, you see at the bottom, it tells you it's Tropical Storm Elsa, what date it is, what time the advisory came out, where it is, where it's projected to be, and all of the colors signify a different status, right? And then it goes the projection by the days. There are a lot of different modules, but I've found that if you are not someone who's very savvy, this really, NOAA, the federal government, provides a really good place to start, to have a better understanding and help you to prepare. Now, we know that with rapid intensification and a change in climate, that we can wake up one morning and it says, oh, there's a depression. And then by 3 o'clock that afternoon, it's turned into a tropical storm. And then the next morning you wake up and they're saying, oh, this is going to be a hurricane. So we may not have the typical 5 days. So you really need to be ready beforehand. And the fact is, we live on an island. We live in an area that is prone to a number of hazards. So being prepared is really an investment in you, in your business, in your community. And we want to make sure that you have this resource. You can follow NOAA on any of the social platforms, and you can actually download their app as well. So I recommend you do that. And then I wanted to provide you with just some communication tips from our friends at the at VIA, and also some of our experts. So texting is best in being concise. And this is where the young generation would have me beat out because they have every abbreviation for everything possible, right? But texting is best and being concise is the best way. Always conserve your battery, making sure that you're closing down all those apps that are working in the background and using up your energy. And if you're able to get some solar batteries, do so. They're really, really helpful, really great. I love mine. I'm always having them ready to go. And the two last are my favorite bullets here. So use your voicemail greeting to record an informational message. So let's say the storm has started and family members aren't really able to get a hold of you, but they're getting your voicemail message, right? But they can't get directly to you. So what I did during Irma and Maria was then leave a message with an update. Mom and I are safe. She's having a hard time with the storm, the winds and the rain, but we're good. Just a little bit of flooding. Please look at my hurricane list on Amazon, and we'll likely need some supplies in 3 weeks when they open the ports. And so they get that message. Anyone who calls you get that message. And the ICE is in case of emergency. So our smartphones come already where you can put that up on your emergency contact, but it's good to also have it listed as a contact in case of emergency or ICE. So someone can go into it and know who to contact. Again, it's good to have that smart device, but make sure you also have a paper copy that's laminated but safe, tucked in, so that if you're not able to communicate, that they know who to contact to support you. And that's the end of my preparedness essentials. I want to encourage you to join us on the Ready Rating to better protect your business, your clients, your employees, but also consider joining the Red Cross. We're here for the community. We give of our time freely. We're all volunteers, and we'd love to have you be a part of what we do. And as you see there are a number of pictures showing the kind of work that we do in the community. So here, thank you so much. I hope that I've used your time with respect. If you have any questions, you can always contact us here at the St. Thomas office at 340-774-0375. And here I'm going to turn it. Uh-oh, sorry. Sorry, sweetie. Turn it back over to our moderator.
All right, thank you for that. We don't have any questions, which means you've done an exceptional job in
Oh, well,
getting that
thank you.
information across to the audience.
And if they have any questions, they can give us a call.
Okay, so perhaps we can navigate to that contact slide for the VISBDC.
Uh-oh, hold
Social
on.
media platforms for everyone to find us. So if you do have a question, now is the time you can go ahead and put that into the chat, or you can raise your hand and we can call and we can have you get your question answered directly. In the interim, while we get to that contact slide, I just want to say the VISBDC has so much more in store for USVI small businesses. You can visit our website at www.visbdc.org. Download the VISBDC app on your mobile device from the appropriate app store. Like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google Business, and subscribe to the VISBDC YouTube channel for new uploads of our on-demand webinars. Just a few of our upcoming trainings. On August 28th, we have the USPTO. They're going to be presenting on maintaining your federal trademark registration. On the 29th, we have Safety in Paradise. They're going to be presenting safety and health practices for USVI businesses. On September 4th, we have the USPTO. They're returning to present on learning about US design patents. And on October 4th, we have effective business communication in 2024. So I still don't see any questions. So we do want to thank Ms. Patricia Swan and the entire staff at the American Red Cross for their efforts and their availability to collaborate with us on this initiative. We thank everyone for their time, and on behalf of the entire VISBDC network, We ask that everyone have a productive rest of day.